If you look into some statistics from 1990 to 2010, some of the more liberal or moderate-leaning Christian denominations are losing followers quicker than a cat loses interest in a laser pointer. At the meantime, the conservative and stricter denominations like evangelical are holding strong or even growing. So why is this happening? Let's find out with PAA. Hello, welcome to What People Also Ask, where I search something seemingly obvious and share with you some of its PAA, aka People Also Ask, which is a feature telling you what other people are searching on Google that relate to your query. Today's query is strict church theory, a theory that suggests that the strict religious are stronger. We will also explore if this series can explain the decline of liberal-leaning churches in the United States with relevant researches and online articles. So let's start with our first question. What is strict church theory? According to an article titled The Power of the Mustard Seed, Why Strict Church Are Strong, published by Slate, the strict church theory, as explained by economist Lawrence Kahn in his 1994 essay, Why Strict Church Are Strong, suggesting that people choose to join strict religious community because of the quantifiable benefit their piety affords them. Lawrence Kahn is an American economist who has extensively studied the economies of religion. He, alongside with other scholars, have developed a series called the supply-side theories of religion, which suggests that religious group can be analyzed like other economic organizations, such as firm or market. According to Kahn, the devout person is willing to pay a higher financial, social, and emotional price to participate in the strict religion because he believes he buys a so-called better religious product. A better religious product, as Kahn defined, is one that is more costly to produce and consume. He argued that higher cost can signal a stronger commitment to the group and its belief, and therefore result in a greater participation and loyalty from members. For example, a religious group that requires members to attend frequent meetings, make significant financial contribution, and adhere to strict behavioral guidelines may seen as offering a better product than a group that has few requirements and little commitment from its members. The rules discourage free rider, aka the people who undermine group's effort by taking more than they give back. Strict church is one with members with weak commitments have been weeded out, resulting in a community of passionate members who are deeply involved in one another's life and more willing than most to come to one another's aid. This way, religion is seen as commodity that people produce collectively, and the benefit of strict religious observance are thought to extend beyond the afterlife and into secular day-to-day life, even the participant may not be aware of its secular value. However, it's important to note that Kahn's theory has been subject to debate and criticism from other scholars in the field of religious study, who argues that it oversimplifies the complex nature of religious experience and community, which we will discuss later. But before that, let's talk about what are some examples of strict churches. Here are some real-life examples of how the theory applies to different religious groups. Amish. The Amish are a Christian denomination known for its traditional conservative lifestyle. They live in a tight-knit community and adhere to strict moral code, such as dressing modestly and abstaining from modern technology. The Amish church demands a high level of commitment from its members, including regular attendance at church services and adherence to strict behavioral guidelines. The high cost of joining and remaining in the Amish community may be seen as a reason why Amish have been able to maintain a strong and cohesive community over time. Hasidic Jew. Hasidic Judaism is a branch of Orthodox Judaism that emphasizes the importance of spiritual growth and religious observance. Hasidic Jews are known for their distinctive dress, their emphasis on prayer and study, and their strict adherence to Jewish law. Hasidic community demands a high level of commitment from its members, including regular attendance at synagogue service and strict adherence to dietary law and other religious practices. The high cost of membership in Hasidic community may be able to seen as a reason why the community has been able to maintain its distinctive identity and a strong sense of community over time. Jehovah's Witnesses. Jehovah's Witnesses are a Christian denomination known for its evangelized zeal and their emphasis on door-to-door preaching. Jehovah's Witnesses Church demands a high level of commitment from its members, including regular attendance at meetings, adherence to strict behavioral guidelines, and willingness to devote time and resources to evangelism. The high cost of membership in Jehovah's Witnesses community may be seen as a reason why the community has been able to maintain a strong sense of identity and purpose over time. So what are some criticisms of strict church theory? There are many criticisms and discussions that challenge the assumption of strict church theory. For example, the study title, Are Strict Church Really Stronger? A study of strictness, congregational activity, and growth in American Protestant churches, published by West Virginia University in 2010, examined the relationship between strictness, congregational activity, and church growth. While some indicators of strictness and congregational activity are positively associated with growth, most do not have strong association with it. The study suggests that other factors or church characteristics may be better predictor of church growth. Strictness and congregational activity are indeed correlated with growth. However, it appears that a strong sense of purpose and mission is more important for growth than strictness itself. Overall, strictness appears to be associated with growth, but promoting solidarity may be more important than strictness in particular. There are also many logical criticisms of this theory, and I have compiled some of them as follows. 1. Causal ambiguity. It is not clear whether the success of strict churches community is due to their strict practice or other factors, such as their geographical location, historical context, or specific beliefs of their members. 2. Selection bias. The strict church theories tend to select successful religious community and attribute their success to their strict practice, while ignoring the many unsuccessful communities that also have strict practices. 3. Ethnocentrism. The strict church theory tend to focus on Protestant community in the United States, ignoring other religious tradition and community around the world. And even if strict church theory does hold water to some degree, it's obvious strict church do have some limitation. So when would a strict church fail to attract followers? A strict church theory suggests that strictness in religious practice can be beneficial to a religious organization. However, the theory has its limitation. One limitation is that strictness can be counterproductive if a church fails to provide acceptable substitute for what it asks its members to give up. For example, cults that lure their followers into wilderness but provide them with no livelihood soon fade into history. A good example of the strictness of a church backfiring is Scientology. Scientology has a reputation of being highly controlling and strict, with strict code of conduct, intense level of surveillance, and emphasis on discipline. While strictness can foster group loyalty in Scientology's case, it may have pushed some followers away, who found that the level of control suffocating or invasive. Scientology is known for its high financial demands on its members, including expensive courses and donations required for spiritual advancement. The financial burden placed on members may have encouraged some followers from continuing their involvement with the church. While the overly strict policy of a church could be counterproductive, a certain degree of strictness can be beneficial in spiritual marketplace, as it provides an advantage by attracting enthusiastic and committed followers. In America, where there is no state religion and is truly open market in religion, there are many varieties of fundamentalism and orthodoxy, including the explosive growth of conservative Christianity, Judaism, and Islam, and the slow decline of more liberal denominations such as Episcopalianism. This may represent the natural outcome of the religious competition. So does it mean that the religious landscape will gradually be dominated by conservatives? That's our next question. Would the religious landscape be gradually dominated by conservatives? Assuming that the strict church theory holds true, it is possible that liberal churches may diminish over time, while conservative churches and strict churches thrive. The crucial question to consider is what impact this shift could have on the present and future political and religious climate. An article titled, Why is Liberal Protestantism Dying Anyway?, published by Passio, argues that conservative churches tend to be better at forming community than liberal churches. The reason for this, according to the author, is that conservative churches tend to have more rigorous membership requirements, which help them build a stronger core of committed believers and eliminate people with weaker commitments. If a church demands that members teach 10% of their income, arrive on time each Sunday without fail, and agree to believe seemingly crazy things, only those who are really sure they want to stick around will stay. The theory has been tested empirically. For example, anthropologist Richard Census and psychologist Eric Bressler conducted a retrospective study of American community in the 19th century titled Cooperation and Commune Longevity, a test of the costing signaling theory of religion, published in Cultural Research in 2003, found that religious communes whose membership requirements were strict and demanding survived, on average, many years longer than those without strict demands. Overall, the article suggests that conservative churches tend to have stronger community than liberal churches because they have stricter membership requirements, which help them build a stronger core of committed believers. But are conservatives actually gradually dominating the religious landscape? At least in America, not really. One thing to notice is that almost all the previous mentioned articles and research in this video that support strict church theory are mainly citing data from before 2010. But if you look into more recent data, it paints a totally different trend. According to an article titled The 2020 Census of American Religion, published by the Public Religion Research Institute, the religious landscape in the United States is undergoing a gradual transformation, but is not being overtly dominated by conservatives. And notably, white mainline Protestants have actually rebounded in recent years. For those who don't know, mainline churches refers to a group of moderate Protestant denomination in the United States, which typically hold more theologically and socially liberal view compared to evangelical or fundamentalist counterparts. These churches may support same-sex marriage within their congregation, express more inclusive idea about eternal salvation, and prioritize social welfare and justice in their political efforts, rather than emphasizing strict and conservative moral doctrines. This denomination includes United Methodist Church, Presbyterian Church USA, the Episcopal Church, among others. According to the data by PRI, while mainland churches experienced a decline over the past few decades, recent data show that this decline has slowed down and even rebounded, indicating a shift in this trend. After the decline from 19% of the population in 2007 to a low of 13% in 2016, mainline churches' proportion has since steadily increased, reaching 16% in 2020. Younger Americans also displays a greater degree of religious diversity, with fewer identified as Christian and larger proportion identifying as non-Christian religions. While the religious landscape in the United States is evolving, it is not predominantly dominated by conservatives. However, the recent development in the United States religious landscape does not necessarily defy the strict church theory, but rather show a more nuanced and complex picture of religious dynamic in the United States. The rebound in more liberal-leaning mainline churches and the recent decline of more conservative and strict religion might appear to challenge the strict church theory on the surface. However, it is essential to consider that these changes are part of a broader and more complex religious landscape that is influenced by a variety of factors such as demographic shift, immigration, culture change, and intergenerational differences in religious belief and affiliations. There may be instances where mainline churches adopt and implement certain practice or belief that resonate with their member, leading to the resurgence in their growth. Additionally, the broader societal context, such as the increased focus on social justice and inclusion, may attract individuals to more moderate religious groups. Also, I want to mention one downside of the data in this article is that, except for white Christian, it does not divide Christian in other ethnic groups into more detailed categories. It simply separates, say, black Protestant into their own group, and then divide the white Christian into various segments. So this trend might not be representative to other minority groups. In conclusion, recent data suggests that the religious landscape in the United States is not predominantly dominated by conservatives, but rather represents a complex and nuanced picture influenced by various factors, including societal context and demographic shift, without necessarily defying the strict church theory. If you made it to the end of the video, the chances are that you enjoy learning what people also ask on Google. But let's face it, reading PAA yourself will be a pain. So here's the deal, I will do the reading for you and upload a video compiling some fun PAA once a week. All you have to do is to hit the subscribe button and the bell icon so you won't miss any PAA report that I compile. So just do it right now. Bye!